What's up, you glorious chaos magnets? It's your boy Albert here, the narrator who's had it up to here with these walking red flags called entitled parents. You know the type, the ones who think squeezing out a kid instantly upgrades them to VIP status in the universe, where rules are for peasants, boundaries are suggestions, and everyone else owes them a standing ovation for basic existence. Today, we're ripping into 3 fresh from Reddit nightmares that'll make you want to hand out parenting licenses like speeding tickets. These stories are so packed with delusion, manipulation, and public embarrassment, you're going to be screaming at your screen while laughing your ass off. If you've ever dealt with a Karen who weaponizes her spawn like a tactical nuke, buckle up, because we're about to roast these clowns until they're extra crispy. Let's dive headfirst into story number 1, straight out of the friendly skies where the only thing that should be screaming is the engines. Picture this. Our OP is a 32-year-old dude named Alex, exhausted from a brutal work trip, finally settling into his window seat on a packed 6-hour red-eye flight. He's got his headphones in, blanket up, ready to pretend the world doesn't exist for a little while. Enter the entitled mom of the century, let's call her Sky Karen, strutting down the aisle with her 5-year-old tornado of a son who's already bouncing off the walls like he mainlined espresso. She stops dead at Alex's row, plants her hands on her hips like she owns the damn plane, and announces in that fake sweet voice that could curdle milk, "Excuse me, my little angel needs the window seat so he can look outside and stay calm. You wouldn't mind switching with us, would you? It's just common courtesy for families." Common courtesy? Lady, this ain't a daycare with wings. Alex politely says no. He paid extra for the window specifically because he gets motion sick in the middle, and that's when the entitlement volcano erupts. Sky Karen's face twists like she just bit into a lemon wrapped in betrayal. "Well, I'm a single mom traveling alone and my son has sensory issues. If he doesn't get the window, he's going to have a meltdown the whole flight and it'll be your fault." Oh, here we go. Weaponizing guilt like it's her full-time job and pulling the single mom card faster than a magician with a bad trick. The kid, sensing blood in the water, immediately starts whining at maximum volume, kicking the seat in front and flailing like he's auditioning for a Tantrum Olympics. Flight attendants try to step in, offering her the bulkhead or suggesting she keep the kid occupied with the tablet she clearly forgot to bring, but no. Sky Karen escalates like a pro, marching up and down the aisle telling everyone within earshot how heartless strangers are ruining childhoods and how the airline should have given her priority boarding anyway because she's a mom. Passengers are glaring, someone mutters they paid for peace and quiet, and Alex just sits there stone-faced, refusing to budge. The cherry on top? Halfway through the flight, the kid finally loses it for real, screaming, throwing snacks, smearing peanut butter on the tray table, and Sky Karen has the audacity to turn to Alex and hiss, "See what you did? This is on you!" By the time they land, half the plane is side-eyeing her like she's patient zero for bad parenting. The captain actually makes a polite announcement about respecting fellow passengers, and Sky Karen slinks off the plane looking like she just got publicly pantsed by reality. This isn't protective parenting, folks. This is premium-grade delusion with a side of main character syndrome. You don't get a free pass to ruin everyone's flight just because you reproduced. Some parents really act like rules are optional if they complain loudly enough, and this one just earned herself a lifetime ban from civilized air travel in my book. Absolute clown behavior. But wait, if you think sky-high entitlement is bad, strap in because story number 2 takes us to ground level at an upscale steakhouse, where the only thing that should be grilled is the food, not the staff and customers. Our OP this time is a server named Jordan working a busy Friday night at one of those fancy spots where the steaks cost more than your weekly groceries. In walks the restaurant Rampage family, Mom, Dad, and their 2 feral gremlins, aged 4 and 6, who look like they've never heard the word inside voice in their lives. Mom immediately starts snapping her fingers for special attention, demanding a booth even though the restaurant's full and they didn't make a reservation. "We're a family, you have to accommodate us," she declares like she's quoting from the Constitution of Entitlement. Jordan seats them anyway, brings menus, and that's when the chaos begins. The kids start climbing under tables, stealing bread baskets from neighboring diners, and straight up running between servers like it's a damn obstacle course. One kid knocks over a full tray of drinks on a poor couple celebrating their anniversary. red wine everywhere, soaked clothes, ruined meal. Jordan rushes over with towels, apologizing profusely, but instead of reining in her spawn, Momzilla leaps up and starts yelling at the soaked couple. "My kids are just energetic. Maybe you shouldn't sit so close if you can't handle a little excitement." Then she turns on Jordan and demands the entire family's meal be comped. Appetizers, steaks, desserts, the works, because this is your restaurant's fault for not having a kids' play area or whatever. When the manager comes over, calm and professional, explaining that no, they don't comp full bills for customer-caused accidents, Mom doubles down. She pulls the classic, "I spend so much money here" line even though it's their first visit, threatens to post a 1-star review calling the place anti-family, and even tries to guilt the manager by saying, "Do you have kids? Because if you did, you'd understand how hard this is." The dad just sits there scrolling his phone like a neutral Switzerland while the kids are finger-painting the walls with ketchup. Other tables are complaining. One lady actually asks to move because the screaming is giving her a migraine, and the manager finally has enough. He comps nothing, asks them to leave, and when Mom refuses, security shows up to escort the whole circus out. As they're being marched to the door, Mom is still ranting about discrimination and how real businesses support mothers, leaving behind a table that looks like a war zone and a bill they refuse to pay. Jordan and the staff spend the next hour cleaning up the disaster while the rest of the dining room claps like it's the end of a movie. This parent thought giving birth also gave them a VIP pass to common nonsense. Imagine raising children while acting more immature than the children. It's not protective parenting. This is just a public masterclass in embarrassing yourself and your bloodline. The entitlement here is so aggressive it could knock over furniture, and all it got her was a lifetime ban from decent food and a viral story that's probably still circulating in every restaurant group chat. You do not get a parenting medal for being loud, wrong, and unbearable, lady. And just when you think we've hit peak ridiculous, story number 3 crashes the party at what should have been the most beautiful day of someone's life, an adults-only wedding. Our OP is the bride's best friend, helping coordinate this gorgeous beachside ceremony where the invite explicitly said, "No children under 12, because the couple wanted a chill, classy night without tiny humans turning the dance floor into a mosh pit." Everything's perfect until the entitled aunt, we'll call her wedding wrecker, shows up anyway with her 8-year-old son in tow, dressed like he's going to a playground instead of a black tie event. When the coordinator politely reminds her of the policy and offers to call a sitter they had arranged for family members who ignored the note, Aunt Entitlement loses her mind right there in the lobby. "My son is family too. How dare you exclude him? He's perfectly well behaved," she snaps, even as the kid is already zooming around, knocking over centerpieces and trying to steal the ring bearer's pillow. The bride and groom, trying to keep the peace on their big day, pull her aside and explain again that they specifically wanted an adult celebration after months of planning and thousands spent. But no, this parent weaponizes guilt like it's an Olympic sport. She starts tearing up on cue. "After everything I've done for you growing up, this is how you treat me? You're being so selfish. My son will be heartbroken, and it'll ruin our whole family." Then she drags the kid into the ceremony anyway, plopping him in the front row where he proceeds to loudly ask, "When is this over?" during the vows, throw flower petals at inappropriate times, and eventually have a full meltdown when he's told he can't run on the dance floor during the first dance. Guests are whispering, the photographer is dodging flying bread rolls, and the groom's side is visibly annoyed. Aunt Entitlement doesn't stop there. She corners the bride mid-reception, phone out recording for sympathy points, and says, "See, this is why kids should always be welcome. You're going to regret this when you have your own someday." The final straw? When staff tries to gently relocate the kid to a quiet area with some coloring books, Mom accuses them of kidnapping and threatens to call the police on the wedding venue for discriminating against families. Security ends up asking her to leave, and she storms out dragging her screaming child, yelling over her shoulder that the couple is child-hating monsters who just destroyed their family bond forever. The reception actually gets better after she's gone. People relax, the dance floor fills up without tiny feet tripping everyone, but the damage is done. The bride spends the next week fielding passive-aggressive texts from extended family about how auntie feels so excluded. At this point, this is not parenting. This is a public masterclass in embarrassing yourself and turning a once-in-a-lifetime event into your personal victimhood soap opera. Some parents really act like rules are optional if they complain loudly enough, and this one just proved that having a kid doesn't make you the main character of every damn story. Imagine showing up to someone else's special day and making it all about your precious snowflake. The delusion is chef's kiss levels of unhinged. Whew, folks, my blood pressure is through the roof after those three, so tell me in the comments right now. Which of these entitled parents was the most insufferable? Was it Sky Karen turning a plane into her personal tantrum zone, restaurant mom treating a steakhouse like a demolition derby, or wedding wrecker guilting her way into ruining someone's big day? Drop your vote below, smash that like button if you're team, kids are great but not my problem in public, and subscribe for more savage takedowns because Reddit never runs out of these gems. Your boy Albert is out. Stay petty, stay boundary aware, and I'll catch you in the next one.